Have you ever wondered about the intelligence of Lord Harkon, the notorious antagonist of the Elder Scrolls 5th Dawnguard? This Nord vampire, the leader of the Volkihar clan, is an intriguing character to say the least. Obsessed with a prophecy called the Tyranny of the Sun, he dreams of a world where vampires roam freely in daylight, unchecked and unchallenged. His disregard for mortals, viewing them as nothing more than inferior beings, is a testament to his arrogance. But here's where it gets interesting. His pursuit of this prophecy is relentless, so much so that he's willing to betray his own kin to achieve it. The Dragonborn, our protagonist, can opt to join Harkon's clan or oppose it, a decision that ultimately reveals Harkon's plan as a threat to both vampires and mortals. So, let's delve into the question. Does Lord Harkon truly make wise decisions, or is he the epitome of folly? As we journey through the world of Skyrim, we'll examine the actions of this complex character, weighing his intelligence against his apparent madness. Stay tuned as we unravel the paradox that is Lord Harkon. Now let's examine some of the instances that highlight Lord Harkon's lack of wisdom. Firstly, we cannot ignore Harkon's obsession with the Tyranny of the Sun prophecy. This prophecy, if fulfilled, could potentially allow vampires to roam freely during the day. However, Harkon's fixation blinds him to the inherent dangers of such an event. His pursuit of a world where vampires could walk in daylight without harm not only threatens the balance of nature, but also exposes his kind to new threats they have never faced before. It's a foolhardy goal, driven by a desire for power rather than a well-thought-out strategy. Secondly, Harkon's betrayal of his own family for the sake of this prophecy is a glaring example of his poor judgment. He is willing to sacrifice those who should be closest to him, all for a prophecy that could spell doom for his kind. He disregards the love and loyalty of his family, displaying a level of selfishness that is not only unbecoming, but also ultimately self-destructive. Thirdly, Harkon's view of mortals as inferior beings is another testament to his lack of wisdom. Considering mortals as lesser beings is a dangerous mindset that only breeds contempt and hostility. This perspective isolates him, leading to a lack of allies and a surplus of enemies. It's a narrow viewpoint, one that restricts his ability to understand and navigate the world around him. Finally, Harkon's downfall is a direct result of these foolish actions. He becomes so consumed by his power and his prophecy, he fails to see the danger in front of him. He underestimates the Dragonborn and his own daughter Serana, leading to his eventual demise. His arrogance blinds him to the reality of his situation, and he pays the ultimate price for it. It's clear that Lord Harkon's decisions, driven by obsession and arrogance, often lack foresight and consideration for the consequences. So what are the consequences of Lord Harkon's foolish actions? Well, the repercussions were as dramatic as a Nordic saga. His single-minded pursuit of the Tyranny of the Sun prophecy, coupled with his arrogant dismissal of mortals, sowed the seeds of his downfall. His own blood, his daughter Serana, found herself at odds with his twisted ambitions. Serana, a vampire like her father, but with a heart that still held a spark of humanity, chose to rebel against the very blood that gave her immortality. The Dragonborn, a potential ally turned adversary, joined her in this rebellion. In Lord Harkon's world of darkness, they became beacons of resistance. This alliance of the unexpected was not formed out of love for mortals, but from the realization that Harkon's plan would doom vampires and mortals alike. The prophecy he so desired to fulfill was not a dawn of a new era, but a harbinger of destruction. And when the final confrontation came, it was not a glorious battle for the vampire lord. It was a reckoning. Those he once considered allies stood against him in the heart of Castle Volkihar. The choice to end his life or hand over Auriel's bow was not a choice at all. It was a sentence passed by those he had wronged. In the end, Lord Harkon's lack of wisdom and consideration for others led to his own demise. Life, or unlife in his case, has a way of coming full circle, doesn't it? In conclusion, let's reiterate the folly of Lord Harkon. This Nord vampire, leader of the Volkihar clan, was so entangled in his obsession with the Tyranny of the Sun prophecy that he lost sight of all reason. His unquenchable thirst for power led him to a self-destructive path, even betraying his own flesh and blood in the pursuit of his delusional ambitions. His disregard for mortals, viewing them as inferior beings, was a testament to his arrogance. But his biggest mistake was underestimating them, particularly the Dragonborn, who proved to be a formidable adversary. The irony is, his plan, if successful, would have doomed not only the mortals he so despised, but his own kind as well. He also failed to realize that loyalty, even in the world of vampires, cannot be bought or enforced. His daughter Serana, recognizing the destructiveness of his plan, turned against him, further proving the consequences of his foolishness. It seems that Lord Harkon, despite his power and influence, was ultimately a victim of his own foolish decisions.